tuning in. I was too young to get a mammogram, and I had no family history, and the lump was probably just nothing. At that point, I really pushed to get that prescription. Know your body. Go into your doctor, get the mammogram, get checked. What's up, y'all? Hey. Okay, we had some technical difficulties. I was doing the most. As you can see, that's why I got my Elton John sunglasses on, because we didn't have time to do a face. But I was like, let me hop on here, and so we could finally talk about Insecure. Now, I'm doing it a little bit different. So if you guys want to join the panel discussion, I put the link for the chat or to join the live discussion in the description. So if you guys want to join, just let me know. And if you guys don't see it, I can also put it in the comments. But yeah, child, we got so much to talk about when it comes to this Insecure. Like, I just was waiting for it for so long. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a little bit anticlimactic when it first started. But when I watched it on the second go round, it was much more funny. And it gave me more of what I needed, and more, it was more on brand. I guess once I had to watch it a second time, I knew that, like, okay, this is the show that I fell in love with. Because at first, when I first watched it, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not what I expect from Issa and Prentice and Kelly and all the writers down in Insecure. But yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Also, too, we're testing out a new webcam and mic. So if you guys can hear me, can somebody please let me know in the comment section, give me a thumbs up or a like or something, because I'm not sure if the mic is good. We tested it out, but if you guys are having issues hearing me, please let me know. And before we really get deep down into the conversation, I'm going to add the link again for you guys. I'm going to put it in the comment section. So if you guys want to come on and talk with me about the show, I'm putting it there in the chat, and you guys should be able to log on. And as I see you guys come into the room, then I'll be able to. If you're watching from my personal page, you may not see the comment, because for some reason they have like some block on personal things. So you will have to go to the Facebook, the Hollow News Facebook page, or to our YouTube page to see the link. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So I got my notes. I was typing them up as we were getting started. And the show, it begins with them in the car. And so I was like, okay, all right, Kelly and Tiffany, all right, Derek, they cool, whatever. But I thought it was hilarious that Kelly went in on Molly, talk about she's doing these Picasso ass posts, trying to act like she moved on from Andrew, but she really hasn't. Like, you know, Molly. This is Molly, our girl Molly. Right. And so sorry about that. So we hear Tiffany say she don't want to hear nothing about it, and she kind of sets the timeline, because at first I was like, what year are they in? Like, what universe are they in? I don't know what they have going on, like, you know, because I don't know if they're in 2020. I don't know if they're in a pandemic world, if the writers decided to not include the pandemic. Like, I can't tell from Insecure. But Tiffany lets us know that it's only been 2 months since Molly's breakup. So that lets us know it's been 2 months since the season finale events happened. So I was like, okay, that lets me understand what's going on. Okay, thank you. You guys can hear the sound. Good, good, good. So hold up, I'm a little hot. Whew, these lights. Child, this is why I haven't done this in a while. It'd be too much to do this. I'd be like, oh my gosh, like the makeup, the hair, the everything. Oh my gosh, I just be wanting to come on here and talk. So yeah, so they established that, okay, we good. And then Issa comes on. We like, where's our girl Issa? Where's our girl Issa? Okay, we got somebody joining in. Hey, hey, hey. I'm gonna let him come to the screen. Oh, I love CJ. He has joined us in past conversations before, and he always gives us the great opinions and all the things. So welcome to the screen, CJ. And he always gives us the great opinions and all. Are you? It's like radio. You know, you gotta mute.
My bad.
It's cool. Hey, I like this Questlove thing you got.
Black Thought.
Is it Black Thought? No, Questlove has the beard too, right?
Oh, you do too? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he do. All of the roots.
Oh man, you know, you had to come through and be the voice of opposition to every single opinion you have about this episode.
Hey, you know what? I love it, and we gonna take that in. I love it. I was just recapping what happened, but we could definitely kind of go back and forth about like what you thought of the show. I was just talking about how they were establishing the timeline. Do you know what world they're in? Are they in a pandemic world? Are they in 2020? Are they in 2021? I haven't been able to figure out what the writers are doing.
There was a throwaway line that gave me the impression that they were in the pandemic. Because I think it was Kelly that said something like, "Oh, you know, the world is crazy right now." Da 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 da. So that's what gave me the impression that that there was a pandemic involved in this universe. But what you had said about it had only been 2 months past the last season, which. Right, because I remember like, you know, because 2020 never happened, right, in our world. 2020 never fucking happened. So I forgot that the last season of Insecure was over 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, nobody's wearing masks. They're not talking about nothing about like, you know, social distancing, and they in Cali. We all like, you know, Cali's
they were on lockdown.
Yeah. So I think they just are presenting a universe where the pandemic doesn't exist, which I'm okay with. Whatever, man. It's a freaking TV show. You ain't gotta bring that kind of realism into shit, man. Especially if it's not gonna be a part of the plot. You know what
I mean? That is true. Although Issa actually said something when she was in the car with Lawrence, and she said, you know, things aren't open up. Like she made a point to say that. So that's what really confused me, because I'm okay with going with it, but if, like you said, either stick with it or don't stick with it. I think they just wanted to make a nod to it, because I was like, what does she mean things aren't back to normal? You know, things aren't open up, because they were like looking to see if a restaurant was open. So I was just trying to figure out what world they in. That's just me and my super analytical thoughts. Like the real tea was what?
Ooh, and then like when they was also trying to find somewhere to eat, they was like, oh, is that restaurant still open?
Yeah,
like, nah, I think it closed down. So like maybe they're post-pandemic, because like I'm like, yo, listen, if y'all still acting like the pandemic is a thing, then y'all look real Florida right now, because there's nobody wearing no masks. Nowhere.
Nobody in the background, nothing. Like, I'm not sure what they're doing. I think a lot of people in Hollywood are still trying to figure out how do they approach that. So I get it. Like, whatever. I think the interesting thing to me was when Issa, like, she walked up, and I thought it was like really real life. And I was reading something about the writers from Insecure was saying that Issa likes to put like real life situations into the show. And so when she walked up to Molly, and they're like in the reunion area, like checking in, and she's like, hey, like it's that awkward thing. And I've been in those situations before. So I was like, okay, I appreciate her for like showing like after you've gone through some issues with a friend and y'all trying to get back into it, y'all are still have that awkward energy. And of course, Insecure and awkward Black girl, that's very much on brand for Issa, but it's real. That's real shit though. Like when you get back into it with somebody, it's like, should I hug her? Should I not? Should I hit this hoe? Should I not? Like,
because I mean, the truth of the matter is like, yo, they said a lot of fucked up shit that you can't take back. Like, they were saying some shit that's like, all right, clearly this has been on your mind for some time. So now it's like, all right, they clearly haven't gotten to a place where they can communicate openly and transparent. So even if you jump back into a friendship with that person, in the back of your mind, you're always gonna be like, yo, are they secretly harboring some issues about something that just happened, right? Like every single little thing that happens, you're gonna have to worry about like, damn, are they gonna hold this against me in like 6-7 months? So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have like, because the awkwardness of the interactions that they were having were so awkward. I'm like, yo, I don't know if I don't know if I would even put that much effort into a friendship that like I can't even be like regular with you.
Yeah. And so I don't know if you watched the roundup, well, not the wind down after show. And Issa said she wanted that scene, one of those scenes where her and Molly are talking. And I'm like, why is she not saying anything? Like, this is so uncomfortable to watch, and it's so weird. And she said she wanted it to be very awkward, and she wanted the audience to feel it. And you definitely did, but I almost felt like it was overkill. I was like, all right, we get it. Like, because to me, I just feel like, and I think you made the point too, and I also agree when I'm watching it. I'm like, what friends do this? Like, especially at their age. Like, Issa and Molly are in their early 30s, so I feel like you kind of gone through, at least I hope so, you kind of gone through that part where you're like not communicating, you're not, especially people who've gone through therapy. I think we've seen, Issa seeking counsel in certain ways, and especially Molly. So it's kind of like, you guys have the emotional intelligence, at least I think you do. But
no, they don't.
It's just the things that they do outside of their relationships when they're not going at it. It's like you would think they have the emotional intelligence to communicate better with each other. Yeah. But certain things, I'm just like, this is like what 15-year-old girls do. This is what college age girls do. Like, why are you?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I ain't gonna sit here and try to act like ain't no real emotionally stunted 30, 40, 50-year-old people. But to your point, I think that like when you have built this type of relationship with this kind of foundation for so long, like, yo, you've been friends with, like, you trying to tell me y'all ain't never been through like no crazy life event that like she had to be there for you and she held you down and not only made your relationship stronger. Cause I'm like, yo, the way y'all built this, like the writers being like the way that like they built up this relationship to be like this rock, like, yo, she been my road dog since college. We done been all over the world and da-da-da-da-da. And like, that's what killed it. Like, it doesn't rationally, like, it doesn't make sense in like a real human, like, you know what I mean? Like, if anything was going to take out a relationship to that degree, it'd have been like one of them slept with the other one's boyfriend. Like, that's the only thing I think would still like complicate relationship, like friendships, no matter how deep it is, just because what people just don't like, their views around sex are so stunted that like those are the things that can kill a friendship.
Abuse to like family or disrespect to family, like you said, sleeping with somebody else's boyfriend or stealing money. Like, I feel like those things, or where you're like, okay, this is how extreme. But also too, only because I've been in situations where it's like super duper like dumb to me, but you don't really understand like what the other person is harboring onto or what their perspective is on it. And so like, like, I hate to even bring it up because I don't want these hoes to think that I give a fuck about them like that. But it's more so just for context to show you just how stupid shit could be. Like when you're like going at it with friends or whatever. Look at my friend talking about he not about to play with me. Oh yeah, we got Joel added to the to the conversation. He talk about come on glasses. Yes, I told y'all I don't got no face, no makeup. Y'all finna get these Elton John glasses. I don't care. Okay. Joel, welcome to the screen. Another Hello News fan and supporter who comes on and has a conversation with us. We were just talking about like silly things that break people up, and I was just sharing with him like I fell out with somebody because I bought chocolate covered strawberries. I fell out with someone because I missed a baby shower because I had to move into my apartment. Things you would still silly shit. I fell out with people because I shared that I was in an abusive relationship. You would think like, like that doesn't make sense to me, but in their head and in their worlds, like it was like some extreme shit that should end the friendship.
Usually that's the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like it's never really the thing you did. There's always like an underlying thing. I feel like a lot of people don't know how to communicate well, and not just the lack of communication, they also don't like confrontation. And they feel that anytime that you say, hey, I feel the type of way about how you moved in this scenario, it's like a personal attack when it's not. You can tell someone, and you should be able to tell someone who's your friend when, they do something that isn't like cool with you or that offended you or made you feel some kind of way. But a lot of people don't like to have those conversations. So then they harbor those feelings, and that one thing you did that you didn't do right.
Magnifies.
Oh, that's it. That's the one. And I think even with like Issa and with Molly, as we saw last season, there was a lot of stuff that built up to the point where that's why that friendship went through what it went through, because there was a lot of stuff building where they weren't really communicating honestly about how they were feeling about each other and how they were treating each other. More Molly, because Molly was
Yeah,
a hot
Molly
mess
just
last
do the
season.
most.
But I was listening in when you guys were talking about like the awkwardness when they first met. And I didn't even really think about that when I was watching, not when they first met, but when they started getting back around each other after reconciling. And I didn't really think about that way until you guys brought it up, because it's true. I've had, with all our friends, we've had situations where, you disagreed or something or became a little bit bigger than it needed to. And we just had that one conversation, and that one conversation was one and done. Like that's the one where we solved it, we squashed it, and then we moved perfectly fine after that. So yeah, now that you guys brought it up, that is kind of weird that they spent so much time. And I think CJ might have brought it up. Oh, also it's Joelle. I know.
Sorry,
It's,
I always say
my
Joelle.
parents wanted to be extra and put the E at the end. It's
And
a French name, but they still wanted something.
French ass name. Work that up too.
I'm Janie all the time, so I get it. And so I will try to etch that into my brain, Joelle. But I've been since high school. Your name has been Joelle.
I know. You're not the only one. You're not the only one. It's okay.
Look, correct me. This is a safe space. Get me together. I'm all about.
Speaking of calling in, this is a moment.
You do that. Look, I see my best friend Jay James is watching. If you want to come on, friend, because we've actually, I don't know if he minds telling, but I'm about to tell our tea. Like we actually fell out early in college, but neither one of us can even remember why at this point. Like it's just not even that big of a deal. But for me and him, like you said, Joelle, it was that one and done conversation, and we were like, okay, we back. It's like no big deal. And so I also feel like this. To me, it's a little bit weird with the writing, because for them to be as down as they are, it kind of felt like we're like they should have been able to kind of like get back into it. But I love how, just skipping ahead in the episode, like sometimes it does take like that trauma bond. Also, I don't feel like you need to have a trauma bond, but something has to happen sometimes to get you back to where you were, so y'all can kind of remember like, oh, this is a new experience for us to kind of have like this new point to jump off of. And I really liked how the writers did that. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, when I first watched it, the first 20 minutes to me until they got robbed were like very, it was very meh,
very pedestrian. It was kind of like just going with emotions.
I wasn't laughing. If some things felt a little bit extra, like some things, even with Kelly and Issa, like mirror bitch. Like the second time I laughed, but the first time I was like, oh, okay, teeth out. Okay, this is how you eat. I was like, okay. Like it just, did y'all feel that way the first 20 minutes? Because I didn't really feel like it kicked off until they got robbed. Like, how did y'all feel about the show as far as like the production and the acting and the writing of it all? Like, because usually I feel like Insecure is very like keeps it going.
So my issue with, and this is an HBO issue, I think, because I love HBO, I love all their shows, their dramas, their comedies, but their final seasons of every single fucking show I've ever loved has been ass. No matter how amazing the show is, the final seasons are always ass.
I call it the final season curse.
Yeah, I mean, even The Wire, like my favorite fucking show of all time, that had a weak ass last season when they threw all the politics into it. But anyways,
but it wasn't that weak. It was a little bit stronger than most.
It was stronger than most. But like as far as like what they built it up to, like for it to end on some like, oh, Marlo's just like out the street again. Fuck y'all. Nah, we gonna see Tom Blaze and The Wire. B, what are you doing? Anyways, digress. Game
of Thrones and True Blood. I don't know that. I'm still hot about that True Blood finale.
I haven't gotten to either one of those shows, but I've been hearing, especially Game of Thrones. People were like, "Please!" Like Issa even said, people told her, "Like, don't Game of Thrones this shit."
No, I'm sorry. Maybe because Game of Thrones had a larger fan base, they made a bigger deal. True Blood
True
had
Blood.
the worst
True Blood was
final
the worst.
season
True Blood
of
was the
any
worst.
HBO show I've ever.
Oh, maybe it's HBO then. 'cause-
Woo! But anyways,
TJ's
so
right.
my issue with this episode was the fact that like we couldn't really like. I felt like season 4 was a build-up season, right? To like this, this slew of like you could just throw egg. I mean, you ain't got nothing to lose. You got 8 episodes, 26 seconds each episode. Like you got no time to like really like tie up all these loose ends. So there's no need for us to watch a starter episode or like a build-up episode. Like everything from season 4 was the build-up. You just got hit with a fucking surprise baby. Andrew just dropped like, yo, Molly been going to therapy for how long? Like, this shit ain't helping you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kelly is the only functional motherfucker in the whole crew.
And she's like the most dysfunctional.
She the wildest one.
CJ, which is why I think what you guys brought up earlier makes even more sense. And what you guys said, not what happened. The fact that they spent time with the awkwardness between them. That restaurant scene when they met each other at the Ethiopian place should have been it. We know they got back together. They're good. 2 months have passed. Molly's in therapy. Thank you, Jesus. Everything is getting better. That's how it should have started. You're right, CJ. It should have started with more of a bang. And maybe, they go to the reunion, but the awkwardness isn't there. And it's a little maybe they get to Shy sooner because Shy was
she was crazy.
No.
She was a lot.
Wow.
But she was great. But she was my favorite part of the episode.
Absolutely.
Never being real.
Yeah. Even though she was doing way too much. At the inside the school when they met her and she's like twerking and everything. Although let's shout out Issa. I don't know if you guys I was cracking up. I don't know if you guys catch this, and I caught it because I rewatched all the seasons like within the last week. That Issa has dropped a twerking flute player throughout the series. And I am here for it every fucking time. Okay, like I don't know what the inside joke is, but the blow the whistle.
I love it.
I was like,
that's funny. I didn't even notice that.
I love it.
Yeah, you made a great point. Like, I feel like both of you guys, like, because the episodes are so short, because the season is only 10 episodes, like, get us to, what it is. And honestly, I felt like I would have wanted a longer scene with Lawrence. But more interaction with Lawrence, because that's what fuck the reunion and her, Molly and Tiffany not depressed no more, and Kelly dead, but she not dead. Like, I want to know, baby is here. Condoleezza Rice is keeping it. Issa, what you doing? Hear about Lawrence, because the whole episode I was like, where's Lawrence? Why aren't we like what's going on? And then when we got to Lawrence, I felt like her decision about Lawrence didn't have enough backfill. You know what I mean? Like, it was like so abrupt in my mind. Like, yeah, she went through all this stuff, but it's not like the robbery was really a life or death situation for them. I mean, that girl wasn't going to get those girls shot. They knew what she looked like. Like, she wasn't going to do that. So it's like, how did you get from, like, I feel like we're missing that part because we don't know what happened within those 2 months between her and Lawrence, unless they're going to start doing like flashbacks of how they've been, which would be horrible.
There has to be time jumps because one, you said it was you said 2 months. It's been 2 months.
It's been 2 months.
I don't know if you saw the season trailer, but Condola got a baby in her arm in a scene.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
You're right.
So I'm like, wait, whose baby is that? If maybe when she had somebody else's baby shower. Right. But like, you can't not explain. And then like to get out the car after she didn't already hopped up. Got a ride from his ass.
He used that man like an Uber.
I was like, that's some cold shit. How you going?
But she don't actually say like, yo, I can't do it. Like it's got to be a bigger conversation than just sitting at the car like, duh. Like, I don't even know like what made it end.
But what about what happened? Because the writers can't assume we know what happened within those 2 months. So what happened in that episode that would lead her to that conclusion that she doesn't want to spend time? Was it the conversation with Molly at the tour? When they were before they were going to the reggae thing, Reggae Gold, they started talking about like how Molly used to be and how she used to be more carefree or whatnot, and she was focused on her and what, like, was it that? I don't know. Like, I'm still confused.
Me too. And I think Issa said something like after they like left that the diner, and Issa was like, "Is it okay for me to talk?" And she was like, "I like that." And Issa said something about like, "I just want to be in the moment and be free, move forward." And it was, to me, I felt like they were saying that was part of Issa's epiphany about how she's going to move forward and how she's like kind of letting things in the past go. And so that's what I took it as the viewer. But I also felt like, because you guys have made us so invested in this couple, I wanted to hear a little bit more. I wanted a little bit more screen time for Issa and Lawrence in that episode, to just kind of flesh that out a little bit more. And I honestly feel like, even though I know it's a show, it's only 35 minutes or whatever, but it's just, to me, that wasn't really realistic. Like, first of all, I don't know how LA niggas is, but a Miami nigga would have definitely got you together for using him, for picking you up from the airport and all it. Like, he would have been like, you could have called an Uber for this. Like, really? Like, ma'am. I was like, Issa, now that's just dirty. I mean, it's G code, but it was
not even a conversation. She didn't even give him a full conversation. There wasn't even a hug goodbye. There was nothing. It was like, and then the roll away with the suitcase. Like, what?
I'm low key curious as to, like, because you ever watch a show and you don't realize until like the later seasons that you're not actually supposed to like the main character. Right? Okay. Like Breaking Bad, where he changes into Heisenberg, and like, nah.
Wait. I haven't seen Breaking Bad, and it's on my watch list.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either.
Bro, what are you doing?
I know.
Give me the whole plot.
I know.
About like Sons of Anarchy. I don't know.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
I watched
like halfway through the series, you're like, yo,
this person is trash.
Yeah, like I shouldn't be, like, you're writing them to be the bad person. Like, you're not writing them so that I want to root for them.
I don't know, man. At this point. Sorry, CJ.
No. I just feel like like when you think of like the theme Insecure, right? Like, I hope that they're not going to try to like create this like epiphany light bulb in her head that all of a sudden, after all these seasons that we've gone through, we get nine episodes to see like secure Issa, right? Because like that should be the point of the show. Like, you start off with an insecure kind of younger individual, only been out of college a couple of years. Fast forward 5 years, like, you've had all these experiences. You know what I mean? Like, at what point are you not trash anymore? Because the first season, you cheated on your man, like, heavy, B. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's never been a good person, but like Molly's been trash.
Hey, now.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's a little harsh.
No, you're right. You're right.
If you're gonna
not that she's not a good person,
we don't object to it because it's not trash.
I misspoke. So she's not that she's not a good person. But like you said, her self-awareness and her emotional maturity is just not emotional, like emotional intelligence and like self-awareness are like hella not there. And damn, Rashawn, don't hurt me.
I know Rashawn.
You know what I'm saying? Like, she just keep fucking up. Like, yo, at what point do you like start to like really do that introspection?
But she's not messing up right now. Like, if you really think about it, her trajectory has been one where, yeah, she's had her ups and downs. At the beginning, she was like hella insecure. There was a lot of issues going on, but like, she's getting her business together, even though she's still insecure about it, because that's a normal thing when someone's building something. Like what she's doing. She's still, her head is like, I should be about my stuff, my business, what I'm doing next. I don't want to be managing these apartments anymore, and blah. She's still stressed about that. I don't blame her. So I think that she is in a trajectory where I believe that the writers are getting her to a point where she's going to be very secure, but the decisions that she makes once she's more like evolved in that area of her life will not be guided by insecurity, but because that's what she truly wants. And because that makes sense in her life, which is why I think her and Lawrence will still end up together at the end, but with her coming at it from a different point of view and perspective.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Just to step back a little bit, and it's more so because I have Insecure on in the background. Thank you, boyfriend, for putting that on because that's helping me remember my thoughts and my notes. They just passed the scene with Issa on the panel, and I thought it was very interesting how she approached the questions and how she was answering. It's very funny too. That was like probably one of the funny scenes that I like because she was like, "What? Ain't no love for Pac?" I thought that was hilarious.
Yes.
And when the guy was like, "I went from
And
negative
what they
to
were saying
positive."
was good. I'm like, why y'all clapping for these
Yo,
niggas?
they
She
were
didn't
clapping
know.
for the most basic comments, like
I
and
know.
stuff, and for her, crickets.
That was
When she
great.
said the Tupac line, it was like, "Oh, y'all ain't got no love for Pac." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love this ode to Snoop Dogg being at the Source Awards or whatever award show." And he's like, "Y'all ain't got no love for the West Coast." I said, "That is such an LA girl." I appreciate her for dropping
That was
those little
awesome.
nuggets in. But people on Twitter were going crazy and saying like they really related to what Issa said on the panel about not having it all figured out, even though she, has her business, but she's kind of like, I don't know, and I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing, and she's trying to figure it out. And I thought it was a really honest answer. I don't know, maybe because I'm a journalist, I'm not ever gonna fumble on the panel like that. But I was like, what is this? But then people were in the comments saying, I relate to that. I've been awkward on panels. I've been too honest on panels. What did you guys think about that scene? Like, did you feel like it was relatable or kind of far-fetched?
I think she was being real, and I think what she was saying, I can see why it would resonate with people, but I got to put on my PR and professional hat on. And there's a way of saying things like what she was saying about the challenges without framing yourself as someone who doesn't know what they're doing. That's still part of her insecurity. Like what she doesn't know, and I don't think she's realizing what she's creating and how far ahead she is um, than where she thinks she is. I think she still thinks she's at like level 0 when in reality, when you think about the block party and the business that she built out of that, those are all great things toward, like, she doesn't have to compare herself to what, these other people who are just saying things that quotes you see on LinkedIn. Honestly, they were just talking LinkedIn quotes.
Empty platitudes.
And but so I think she should have positioned it better. I think what she said wasn't said in the right way, but the message, I can see why it would resonate. And I like that she was more honest but it's the way she said it. She could have said it definitely much better.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was just the writers having fun with the comedic moment. I mean, because even with like we were just talking about, like the quotes that the other people were saying were getting like standing ovations. It just wasn't a realistic balance of like, it was all of those things leading up to that last question that made her like at peak awkward status, right? Because if the people had been laughing at her jokes, then it wouldn't have hit as hard that she, like, that last thing she said was like, fuck this, like I can't put up this facade anymore that like I have it all together. And then she just had this real, like, transparent moment in front of this large crowd. But yeah, I mean, what she said was definitely it's real shit. And it's even more real, like, coming out of the pandemic. Like they definitely talk, like a lot of the theme from this episode was as if a pandemic existed in that universe.
Yeah.
Even with Kelly's last, Kelly being dead, Kelly, that whole storyline.
True. Maybe they're sprinkling it in that way. I like that. That's creative. That's different.
So
yeah,
without actually saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. We all were saying I was gonna read Corey's comment. She kept it real, and I felt like we all have those moments, and that's true. Like sometimes you do second guess yourself, and I love like what Rashawn said was like she wasn't giving herself credit, and you made a great point, Jolie. Like that's how people are, especially as an entrepreneur. I definitely can relate to that. Like some days, like it is very much a struggle. Sometimes you don't realize how much you've actually accomplished. And like, that's why having that support system is so key. And I love how Molly, like, even though she kind of fumbled it, it was like, and even all her girls were there. They were like, you did good. Here you go. Cause at the end of the day, like, real shit, even though it's a TV show, no, Stanford, they would have not invited her for that one block party 2 months ago, like with the people from Coca-Cola and this other startup. Like you wouldn't be on that panel. But thinking about it in perspective, like to the show, like the fact that you did get invited, the fact that maybe it went viral, maybe the school saw it and it thought it was, worthy for you to be on the alumni panel, like that alone was good enough. And she, she didn't see that. She was still insecure in herself to not see that, hey, I made it this far, I'm being recognized. And I think that was like a very honest and real conversation to have, even though they put it in a comedic way. Like that's how a lot of entrepreneurs feel, especially people of color. Like, you know,
I was
that
gonna say
imposter
that.
syndrome,
I
like
was gonna
not
say
feeling
that.
worthy, always feeling like you're behind the curve. Like, dang, he got this funding, he's doing this, and I'm still, you know, hustling and scratching and surviving. Like, but you've actually accomplished a lot, and you just don't realize it.
And if you notice in the panel, Issa was the only Black woman, and I think that Black
That's
women tend to have that issue of second guessing themselves, having imposter syndrome because of, you know, what happens in society and, you know, how we're conditioned in life. So I think that was, I think, a big point that they were probably trying to make as well through Issa being Issa and having that moment. Yes. So Rashawn said imposter syndrome too. So yeah. So I think that also was a big part of it, of her being a Black woman and her being the only Black woman on that panel and not having the same confidence at that point that she should have that confidence.
Yeah.
She was invited for a reason. And
Yeah.
she needs to believe in herself. She built that thing from nothing. She got invited there for a reason. I think most, more Black women, especially, I mean, people of color in general, and Black people, and women, but they need to be more like, Black women need to be more confident and self-assured in that, and
Yeah,
their strengths and skills.
That was a great observation. I didn't even catch that she was the only one Black woman on that panel.
Yeah, I mean, I would even push back a little bit on what you said, Janae. I think what she accomplished was huge, like on par with the people that she was on a panel with. I mean, when you think about the like you said, like she had nothing, and she created a block party, like a concert with legitimate artists.
Yeah.
And like, you know, vendors from all over this city in a large city. Like it wasn't, you know, it's not like you know, some small rinky-dink township or whatever. Like that's a big ass city. And so when you think about, like, I mean, I just thinking about like the work that I do, if you have like, let's say somebody throws a protest or something, right? And like 3,000 people show up and it's on like national news, like those people are just regular ass people putting together a protest. So like if your school, if you go to your graduating classes during college or whatever, and they picking out all the people from the graduating class that did something major, like, yeah, that's on there, B. Like
that you know what? And to your point, I totally agree, and I'll take back what I said about like her little rinky dink thing, because you know I'm just doing that because it's the blow CC, you know. You know, but and you know it's Issa being Issa, but you know that was a really great point. But you know, when me and my boyfriend were talking about it after the fact, we were like, okay, I wish it would have been like some point in the writing to say like to make those points to us, or at least like reiterate that to us, because I'm like, did this go viral? Did it get news attention? Like, to me, kind of like to further qualify why she's on the panel. And that's just me being super analytical and wanting all those details. But I was like, I would have liked to have at least had her say, you know, when Molly was encouraging her to be like, girl, you know, stop that. Like, remember your event went viral, like, or, you know, you got all, you know, 50,000 followers now, or you did this interview. Like, so I don't know. I wanted that to kind of like further solidify why she was on the panel, but that was just me picking at straws. I wanted to ask you guys, what you guys think about the Kelly being dead joke, and like how she kind of like got serious, you know, like, am I just a joke to y'all? Because at one point, me and my boyfriend was like, well, Kelly, you're the funny person. You're the comedic person. Like, I don't like you being serious and mad on the show. Well, what did you guys think about the running joke about Kelly being dead?
I think buckle up, because I feel this season is they're going to focus on Kelly finding some sort of purpose, having a little bit more substance to her character, because people love Kelly. I love Kelly's character. A lot of it is because she is that comedic relief, and you know, she's got these one-liners that are out of control, and the situations. But I think they're going to try to give her a little bit more substance and in her storyline, and I think you're going to keep seeing that as the series progresses, because remember, they're all sprinting towards some finish line. Like all of their stories are going toward a wrap of some sort. They're wrapping them up, and I think Kelly's is going to have that.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that they've underused her character, and I think that that they saw the comments online that would say that, like, she's a fan favorite, and she's literally the only one that's never had a storyline. And
except for when her and Tiffany fell out. but that was
That's right.
They
That was
didn't
2
really go
episodes.
into
and
it.
exactly.
That was 2 episodes and one monologue in the parking lot. Like
Yep.
she, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't like, and it's, I was gonna say this at the beginning of the talk, like, yo, I was dead ass wrong on my prediction of what was gonna happen on this episode, because I was like, there is like, I just don't see the like Issa, like the actress, and like, you know, Yvonne and all that, like being on the same scene as Amanda Seales right now.
Oh.
So I was like, yo, I did not think that we was gonna see them really interact as much as they did, because last season her only part was getting stuck in that hotel. And then when you couple that with all that was going on behind the scenes, I was like, yo, they really trying to like cancel her, like fade her out of the show, even though she has a contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, so seeing her on screen with them and like interacting with them, like after not seeing it at all last season, was like really, really crazy to me. But yeah, I think that Kelly's gonna get a good.
I want us to hold that thought for the end, because I feel like that's a whole.
Oh,
I want to get into the Amanda Seales drama, but
I'm stressed already.
I want us to have a moment for that, because I want to make sure that we get through all the points of the show, because I'm trying to think, like right now I'm thinking about the robbery.
Oh my God.
And how I'm like, okay, this is what I need from Insecure, like the outlandish, crazy shit or whatever. I didn't even catch the guy say her name, like Shay, because they was like Shay, and I was like, what? And then she was like, no, Issa, keep them shoes. Like, I want it. I was like, yes, give me everything I need with my comedy for the night. What y'all thought about that scene?
My favorite of the night.
Hilarious.
That was my favorite. It was so funny. I mean, it was very Insecure. Like, Insecure has ridiculous moments. Like when Issa, remember when Issa got left with the dine and dash people?
It's still fuck Kyla Pratt.
So it's the same thing, and I loved every minute of it. Yeah. And my mouth was on the floor.
I was like, what?
I was like, wait, what is happening?
You know what I thought? And I'm like, oh, they in South Central, ain't they? They in the area where Nipsey was, you know, like, oh, this is real. And I was like, well, they not back home, but I was like, you know how they say the gangs is in California. I was like, this could really happen.
But like Shay seemed like she was just the girl that went to Stanford, but she was from Compton. But yeah, I thought that was a hilarious scene. It's so funny. Like past seasons, like there's always, like you said, like this really outlandish. Like I think, like at least one episode gives you like this really crazy, like, oh my God, I can't believe that would happen. Like when it was fighting in the back of the lift.
Oh, that shit.
Or you know what I mean?
So
like
fun. When you think about it, season 1, it was the broken pussy. I was like, okay,
exactly.
I can't remember season 2, episode 1.
I would say Lawrence getting the STDs from.
Oh yeah, the STDs.
I forgot about that.
The fight, because I remember that was episode 1 when Nathan got in that fight. That was episode 1, I think, of season 3 or 2. I can't remember now, but yeah, they always have these very like crazy moments, and I love it. That's very on brand for the show to me. I think that they need to press charges on that hoe. They know her name. Press charges on that hoe.
That's what I was saying. Like I would have been calling the police immediately. Like,
this bitch, I can't believe Shay fuck ass robbed us. Wait, it was funny. It was a funny part when Tiffany was like, y'all was in that thug rap group and talk about the trap, and ain't none of y'all from the trap. And then Issa was like, but I got a cousin.
yes.
It do be like, you be like, I'm not hood at all, but I'm hood adjacent. Like that's
she was hood. She was
that's like the black, like, you know, experience, especially if like you're college educated. Like that's very much like, to me, I love how they represent, especially I feel like people of color or black people can really relate to the fact that like this is how, to me, like we live in our world. It's like we get it, we're close to it, we try not to, we understand that life is real, we're not gonna get too close to it, we understand it, but you know, we're also over here talking about books and poetry and going to art events and, you know, not trying to get in fights with people, doing our self-care Sunday and stuff like that. Like I feel like they show a great portrayal of like that class of black people. And it's no shade to, like, I hate to call it ratchet, but you know, like I feel like the hood persona is very much out there with like the city girls or Cardi B, and a lot of people try to be like those girls, and there's no shade to that, but at one point I felt like I don't really relate to that. Like, I'm a girl from Miami, but I'm not a city girl. And it's no shade to them, but I was like, I like seeing a representation of me. And I feel like that's why representation is so important. Like, it's cool to have that too, but I'm also glad to see like dark-skinned girls or girls with real bodies, educated girls who work, who don't, hustle or do other things for their money. Like, that's who I am, and I like seeing that on mainstream TV and be celebrated as well, next to the Cardis and the city girls. Like, it's a space for everybody, and I like that Insecure does that.
That's what makes Insecure so special. It's that it's like a nuanced, like different, diverse portrayal of what Blackness is in general. Like there's levels to this. Like there's all sorts of, and people who straddle different worlds, because you either grew up in the hood or went to college, or then you ended up like, I guess, doing really well, whatever it is. Like there's levels to it, and I feel like Insecure, the reason so many people connect to it, and so many women especially, is because what you said, you can see yourself in different characters. It's not just this one portrayal that we know.
And the men
that is
too.
Usually, and the men too. The men, I think the men in Insecure probably have some of the most diverse, also diverse portrayals of Black men. Like there's different kinds of Black men that we're seeing. And I'm just not saying just shades of Black men. I'm saying just like even personality types, experiences, where backgrounds, where they come from. So I thought, the show does that so well. I love the show because of that.
What do you think about that, CJ?
I agree 100%. Like I think that another like element of it, I think that is really interesting, like kind of to your point, Janie, is is the diversity of the Black women characters, and it's diverse in so many different ways. And the same for the men in the show as well. Like there's diversity of personality, diversity of interest, diversity of like, I guess, upbringing, right? And then on another level, you have a diversity of finances. You know what I mean?
I like how
that's huge.
Everybody ain't doing well. Like, even though I used to always be like, for somebody who's really, really struggling on Eastern Side, like, she never wear the same outfit twice. But whatever, like, she's got a big ass
TV magic, CJ.
Whatever, yeah, right? They gotta be magic for that one shit. It's cool though. But yeah, like you like when Lawrence was down and out, like just being real broke, like you never, and then like having friends that are not broke at all, and you're just like.
Like,
how am I supposed to roll with you? You know what I'm saying? So, I think that no other show that I've seen is able to do it and convey that the way that Insecure does it. It's really, really good.
Yeah, they're really good. The writers on there are A1, and I'm even though we don't, go to these award shows and get them for validation, but the awards they deserve, the flowers they deserve, like Emmy, whatever it is, People Choice Award, a hoodie award, goddamn it. The thing, because
Source Awards. Wait, are they still going on?
Now we gotta have one. Now we gotta have a motherfucking award show called the hoodies.
I know that Steve Harvey used to have the hoodies. That's why I said it. Y'all don't. See, I'm like,
I remember that.
I'm 33, but I'm also like 63. Like,
okay.
I'm a Steve Harvey like fan and listen to the radio show. And he used to do a hoodie award. I think he did it for like 10 years. And he used to have like, it was for like people in the neighborhood, like the best barbershop, the best salon, the best bass player, like the best R&B singer. It was the blackest shit. See, Rashawn know what I'm talking about. It was
I gotta go on YouTube and find this shit. There's no way on YouTube.
It was something from us celebrating us, like a BET award, whatever each of them need. Like, I hope that they get all those things this season and all the accolades, because like those people, the way they write, we were talking about writing dialogue earlier, CJ, like the way they write dialogue, like it seems very natural, even though this episode kind of lacked, but for the most part, very much throughout the season, like I feel like I'm like that's how I would talk in a conversation or listening to other people. Like it feels very real to me.
Yeah. Oh, another thing too this was like maybe a few years ago, early on in the series, I read an article about the lighting, even the way they light Black characters. They were very intentional about it. Great because point. There's so many shows, and I'm watching one now, Our Kind of People. Don't
Mhm.
ask. I'm watching that show.
First of all,
Don't ask. Don't
we could
ask.
do a whole. We could do a
Don't
whole.
ask.
We
It's
could do a
trashy.
whole
I
live
know.
on that.
Don't
It's
ask. I
trashy,
know.
but I love it.
I'm trying to support. Okay. Don't.
CJ, you will not judge.
Yes.
I think
I watch it.
Okay. So
I
CJ
probably
knows.
makes
for
me
what
watch
it is. I
So
just think
we'll
for what
need
it
to
is.
come
I
back.
don't watch it voluntarily though. But anyways, that's fine. I'm not judging.
We'll need to come back on that. But even then, like Morris Chestnut, for example, the lighting on him, like it makes you appreciate what they did because in Insecure, the lighting is so beautiful, especially when they light dark skin.
Mhm.
When I was watching Our Kind of People the other day, Morris Chestnut, who is a
It's
beautiful
called
man,
Our Kind of People.
I could barely see him. His face was a shadow. He's got a beautiful face. Why is it not lit? Like I'm
You
gonna
know,
need Insecure's people to go talk to Our Kind of People.
I haven't caught that. Maybe because Morris Chestnut's so damn fine. I just haven't.
Well, that's
caught
why I'm upset because I'm
the-
trying to
the
look
fact-
at him and he's in a
always look
shadow.
good. He always look good on camera and y'all. I'm always like, oh, babe, you see how fine y'all is? Y'all so fine. He's like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm like,
but there's definitely a difference in lighting though.
But
Like,
that's
you
one of the things too that they even were so intentional about doing and that was one of the first shows that I think really focused on even lighting.
I
black
thought about
skin.
that watching the past seasons, I was like, damn, they are lit. They look so golden every time they step on
And you
the
can see
screen.
their features.
Mhm.
You don't have to glow like a light to you see them. Like which is beautiful.
I gotta go back and find that episode where you say you couldn't see
I
more.
couldn't see. I couldn't. I was very upset. It was like the man was hiding in the shadow and he wasn't.
See, but you know what? Honestly, like I feel like you have a very trained eye to be able to point that kind of stuff out. I don't know if it's like you just watch a lot of TV or you work into
Unfortunately, yes, I do watch.
Yeah, because like not everybody can catch that. Like,
but that article I read about Insecure and their lighting choices really changed the way I look at TV now, especially when it deals with Black characters. I'm like, damn, I didn't even realize that was really such a big issue, especially if you look at shows and movies from like that are older. Oh my God, sometimes you can't see people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't see their features. It's very upsetting. Now you're gonna watch. Now you're gonna pay attention.
Nah, like you
usually
like,
pay attention to it, but I just didn't catch it on that show yet.
A dark-skinned dude in a dark room back in the 90s, the nigga didn't exist. Like he was just teeth in the eyes. Like that was
you gotta hope for a smile or something.
Everybody was Bill Duke. No matter who you was Bill Duke. If you was in the dark tunnel or some shit.
Don't say that.
I'm just saying, you know, you fucked up, right?
Like, I love you too, big. Look, I'm trying to think back to the shows. It's sometimes they look a little ashy. I just put it towards the lighting, but I never really thought it was like such a bad thing. Like I'm thinking about back to all like the Black movies that I love, like The Best Man and Love Jones and Boys in the Hood. Like they didn't look badly lit to me on there. Like I think.
Well, maybe I'm trying to
think about the movies that I like that I think are like.
But those are what would be considered quote unquote Black movies by Black people in behind the scenes. I would think, right? So maybe because of that, they themselves were a little bit more intentional about how they were lighting the actors. But if you look at Black actors in
movies, I could see him in
Oh no! What I'm saying,
no, you can.
There's degree like lighting is a skill, right?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
So you're not.
There's awards for this.
Yeah, exactly. So
the answer better motherfucking get it.
They were really good lighting people back in the 90s too, and every so often they would do a Black film. It's basically what that means.
There you go.
Love Jones, I think it has a really good lighting.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Insecure is the only one that's ever lit a Black person up right. I'm just saying that for the most part,
when you notice it, you notice it.
When I notice it, that I don't know if it might have been just that one scene with Morris, but I'm bothered by it. Our Kind of People, I'm gonna need them to get it together.
I hope they're watching this. Maybe they'll
please send me the screenshot because I need to remember. Because I'm like, every time this man stepped on Our Kind of People, I'm like, yes, Morris, daddy.
No, that man was in a shadow, and his wife at one point too was a very beautiful woman too, and I couldn't see her eyes, so I don't know what she was. was very
I
angry.
have not seen that.
And her makeup looked really good too. When she finally saw it, I was like, "Whoa, her makeup looks so nice."
Oh,
Oh my
Chandel,
God.
you don't miss so much. We about at the end because we about to get into that last scene with Issa and Lawrence at the car. And I know we touched on this a little bit earlier, but what do you guys think? I guess I would love to know like y'all predictions, and y'all in the comments chime in. Like, what do y'all think the predictions will be for Issa and Lawrence? Like, what do you think their outcome for the season will be? Like, what journey do you think we'll see them in? I'll tell y'all mine, after y'all go. But what do y'all think, Issa and Lawrence? Because I need them.
Yeah, man. I feel like
What are you hoping to see? Or what do you think the show will do?
I'm hoping that we get the unrealistic. They get together and things are all good. Because again, it's not a spoiler because it was in the trailer, but like I guess he lost the job and he had to go back to
Oh yeah, she said he moved back to LA.
Yeah, so they're kind of pushing him into like a situation where it just makes sense, but like that baby's making it real difficult. And I think, like you said, Janae, I think that Issa's gonna come to a point where she's like, "Yo, I'm secure in the fact that I'm with this man that I love that just happens to be in a bad situation." So,
now that you brought up CJ, when earlier you brought up the time jump, which I think reinforced now what I think is going to happen. I think that Lawrence is coming back because of the baby. I think he wants to be a dad. He wants to be close to the baby. So I think he's coming back. I don't think it's necessarily that he lost the job. I think he's choosing to try to raise that baby. And I think I think he and Condola might try to raise that baby together for a little bit.
Oh, that just hurt my heart. Then you say that.
And Issa just left him. So he's like, he's probably going to be like, well, Condola and I got along. Then now we have a baby, and they're going to do the whole, like, let's get together, let's be a family. But that's not going to work. There's going to be a time jump. They had a time together, not going to pan out. Within that time, Issa will do a bunch of stuff separately. So will Lawrence. They'll maybe intersect here and there. And those intersections will remind them that there's still feelings there. But they will only get back together once Issa grows in one way and he deals with his family thing. And that's why the time jump, I think, is going to come into play.
Don't forget Light Skin Bae.
Oh, Nathan?
Light Skin Bae? Oh, he's in the... Oh, but isn't there that... Who is that actor from that... There's a dude that's a very sexy man that's going in there.
He got that African sounding name. I know what you're talking about. The dude with the beard.
Yes, and he was in Girls Trip. Was he in Girls Trip?
Oh, you talk about Kofi Sarobi.
Isn't he in this?
Yeah, season? they show him.
I think Issa's gonna have some fun.
Why can't Molly? That can't be Molly's piece.
I think that's Issa.
I think that's Issa because they showed them looking at each other. But
I think Issa's gonna have some fun. I think she's gonna live her life. That's not gonna work out. Lawrence's situation isn't gonna work out, and then they're gonna come together, and then life is gonna be sweet.
Okay. Before I tell y'all my predictions and my hope, I'm gonna read the comments. Rashawn, she said that she thinks they will get back together at the time in perspective. So on with you, Joely. Anthony says, I think they will be a blended family. He's going to fight for Issa. Okay. Tanta says reality would be they're together, but that's still unrealistic because there's a baby. And like the show says, she'll be insecure about it, but that's the love of her life. She ain't going nowhere. Okay.
I like that last line.
That's a touchy one.
Chandel said, I don't think so. I think they'll be great co-parents though. I think she's talking about Condola
and Lawrence getting together. Okay, valid.
I said that's a good. Or she said she wished he fought for her last season.
Oh, okay. True.
Okay. So my hope is that we saw Issa and Lawrence stay together, and we saw like how awkward and insecure she is dealing with him having a baby, and them trying to make that work, and how they have the pitfalls and insecurities and the fights, and how they're like working towards their relationship to make it work. And in the end, she gets it together, she accepts it, Lawrence and Condola and Issa have like this, blended family, and they make it work. But I wanted to see that journey of what that looks like, of you accepting the love of your life that has a child on the side. Like it wasn't like he cheated on you. It was just something that happened, and you're growing to accept this as your reality and how you move forward. What I think is going to happen, and because I've been watching hella interviews with Issa, she said that the writers released themselves for season 5 to not feel like it is the end, to wrap it up like a finale. She said they're writing it as if it was a season 6 coming.
Oh,
and
I did
so
see
she
that.
said that the characters are going to continue, but they're just jumping off. Like that's how she explained it. So what I think is going to happen is, I think they're not going to end up together. I think we're going to end the show with them like doing this dance of cat and mouse, him there, her seeing it, her dealing with that and processing it. But I think they're not going to end up together, but it's going to be a question mark, like they possibly could.
Oh, I don't like that.
Because I think they're writing it like a season, as if there's a season 6. So to me, I think the writers are going to leave us with having these characters go on with the life that could possibly happen. But I think that's what's going to happen, because that's how you would do. Because you would leave a season 5 with that like possibility to see them work through that. That's how I process what she's been saying and what what has happened. But I think that will make sense. They said we're going to get some things wrapped up. We're going to get some questions answered. We're going to have some type of closure. But I think they're going to leave us with a cliffhanger with them.
Plot twist though. What if Issa and Lawrence end up even if they're not together, they're still kind of like together, but the one that she loses ends up being Molly.
Oh no!
I think that's going to happen too.
No, I don't want that.
They talk about like how you grow apart and can they grow together. And that's real shit. I think a lot of times, especially with those friendships where you know them since childhood, or like since you've been very young and you start growing in different directions, sometimes you can't grow together. And that would be very real. But me as a viewer, I don't want to watch my real life in that way on TV. Because season 4 was so triggering for me. Like I couldn't really rewatch it again. I probably won't watch those episodes with them fighting, because it was just too much like my real life. And then those daggers coming out, I was like, I don't got enough money to pay my therapist to help me reprocess.
Damn, girl.
Damn.
It was just that real, because I've been there with friends and family and them going in on me and cussing me out. And I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I don't got past this. I don't want to rewatch this again. This is too real. But I really do think that Issa and Molly may be a rift, because Issa kind of hinted towards it, and I read some interviews where they say that too. So it would be sad. Hold up, Chandel said when we were talking about the baby, she said ask Gabby, and I think she talked about Gabrielle Union, but because she dealt with a baby during a break, baby.
It's all in her book though. She put it in her new book. She was very upfront about it.
She said she wouldn't do it today, but I think that. Could you deal with a break, baby, Joelle? Could you deal with a break, baby? First of all, CJ, can a man do?
I mean, I ain't never gonna have it happen, but I guess. Are you asking me if I could deal with like a break
with
baby
a woman having a break baby
from another dude?
Yeah,
it is what it is. Things happen. If there's love there, I'm gonna work through it. I mean, if he ain't no deadbeat, you gonna deal with what you got to deal with. We all just chilling.
Could you deal with it, Joelle?
I don't want to give a definitive answer, because I don't know what I would do in that situation, and I haven't been put in that situation. However, I will say that very likely there'll be a lot of couples counseling before that ever happened, if that was the case, because that's a stressor.
Yeah.
and anytime I would be very upset for a long time. So,
and what quality of life would we have? I think that may not be my ministry, because it would be
I like that.
It just may not be for me, because I think that every time I see that child, it's going to be a constant reminder and a trigger of what happened and the breakdown with us and the time that we weren't together. And I don't want to have those feelings towards a child.
I know that.
And I'm not and I'm not sure if I'll be able to get over it. I don't know if I would, and so it probably would break us. I don't know if I'll be strong enough to do that. Hats off to anyone who could and put that in perspective and move forward. Like I don't feel like it's a right or wrong answer for that. I'm just not sure. I think it'll take me too long to get over it, and it'll just damage the relationship too much. Like I probably think I could get over time, but it'll be so much that I'll be bringing into fights and stuff that it'll just fuck up my relationship even more. Like I don't want him to be washing the dishes, the baby bottle, and I'm like, fuck you and that baby. I'm mad. I don't want to keep bringing that up every time I'm upset about something.
That's
and
not
I don't
good.
think that's fair to keep people in that purgatory state.
Fuck you and that baby.
I know you fuck that bottle too. Like I don't want to be.
Yeah, I agree.
That girl. I don't know if I'm
Whoa.
that.
Yeah, that's not healthy. That's not healthy for anybody.
I don't think
that's
I'm
not
that.
healthy.
I don't really think that would be something that
Poor baby.
Yeah, that baby ain't gonna have no friends.
That's not fair to the baby. No baby deserves that.
Not at all.
Here's the thing: you see, Gabrielle Union ain't put that baby in a family picture yet.
Damn.
So she ain't that mature.
No comment.
She ain't put, and it's not even that she has to do that. We don't know what the agreement is with the mom.
They might have some agreement. Yeah.
But let's just say all things considered and everything in a world where it was okay for the baby to be around. I don't think Gabrielle putting that baby in a Christmas card that's going out. I don't think she doing that. And you see Dwayne Wade ain't put the baby out there like that. She probably said, look, keep it invisible to me.
Oh,
love it over there.
I
think that's what she did.
God, damn. You watch too many shows, man.
Do we see the baby though? And I think Issa would do that too.
I'll be honest. I did after those comments came out, I did some Google detective work, and it took a while to find pictures of that baby. I'm just gonna say that. And they have been together, they have done stuff together, but I had to search.
I don't think and it's the thing, it's his child. So he could do and post that baby however he wants to. The fact that he should, and you're right, and he should. I think Gabrielle is like, nah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I love her.
I love her too. I follow them on Instagram.
Me too. It's Beyonce and Gabrielle Union for me. Like that's how high she is for me. But
and she's gorgeous. I saw her in person once, and I was like,
me too.
Her skin was ridiculous. Like how?
It was. And this is what she said to me, just so I know. Hi, my lady. That's what she said.
What?
Well, I was a volunteer at Zoe Summer Groove at the time in college, and I was directing the people into the party. So that's why she was like,
oh, okay.
Hi, my lady.
Hi, my lady.
But I took it, I was like, hi, man. I fangirl in front of celebrities. That's why I really don't try to be around them like that in that way. But bringing it back to pettiness before I let y'all go. Wait, I like this point that Tonta said. He said
it's not gonna happen
as a cliffhanger and maybe do a movie like Sex in the City.
It's not gonna happen, but it's not gonna happen. Issa says she's not gonna do it. I saw a clip of an interview from her in the Breakfast Club where she says she has no desire to do a movie. She said the only movie she liked was Sex in the City, which Tanta's good job mentioning that. But then I think it was Charlemagne who said, what if they did a Girlfriends movie? You'd watch that. And then she thought about it. So maybe there is an opening for that. But she said a definitive no at the beginning.
Hey, it took like 12 years to come up with an Entourage movie after the show ended. So
that's true. Never say never.
There's no time frame on that.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe a new idea sparks, and she's like, okay, I want to revisit these characters. So I hope she does that. Hey,
just got a Sopranos movie, right?
Oh yeah, with the son.
It was decent. I never even watched The Sopranos, so I'm like getting everything. My boyfriend's going crazy. It's this. I'm like, just let me enjoy it for what it is. But before I let y'all go, since we were talking about petty stuff, Amanda Seales, and if you guys in the comments, y'all chime in about what y'all think about Amanda Seales. Now, I'll just do a quick recap. Amanda Seales apparently is having beef with the production and the actors on the show, and it kind of came to a climax in a sense when she got kicked out of a party around award season, and Issa's friend, who's also I think a producer on the show or something or close to the show, didn't let her in. They escorted her out. Yeah, her manager. And she was upset that nobody from the cast or production came to her rescue. And it's been like this tension. And so I had to go on this like intense Twitter deep dive to see what was going on. Are they beefing? So what I discovered from people, they're saying that during the pandemic, Issa and Amanda did a live. So that to them showed that there isn't a beef between Issa, that they're cool. But the rest of the cast really don't fuck with her. And it seems like she's just choosing not to do promo. So what do you guys think about the Amanda Seales versus Insecure beef that's going on right now? Does it distract from the show? Because it's a little distracting to me to visibly notice she's not promoting the show.
I don't think it distracts to me. I mean, I follow her. I don't have issues with her. She has comments that I think I agree with. She makes some valid points. I know people have very strong feelings about her. They either hate her.
One of them, he says she's toxic.
Oh, there we go. Anthony is in the hate crew. He hates her. And then there's people who love her. And then there's people like me that I can appreciate some of the stuff that she does. And I like her on the show. I think Issa strikes me as someone who's very professional without being fake.
Yeah,
I think she knows how to separate. She's very pragmatic, and I think she knows how to separate like business and personal stuff. And I think they can have coexist in that working relationship because of that. So she doesn't get, and maybe the other co-stars aren't like that. So they don't really mess with Amanda because Amanda's very outspoken, and it could rub some people the wrong way. And she's very vocal on her social media, and when something gets her upset, she'll tell you. And yeah, when that Insecure party thing happened, I was like, I wasn't there, so I don't know, but it sounds horrible and messy. And I was like, damn, they're not letting you in your own like show party. I was like, what is happening? So I don't know who's in the wrong here, but
that was a red flag to me.
Yeah,
it seems real. Yeah, that was like, wait, what?
Like nobody came out and said, wait, like what you think, CJ?
Yeah, nah, I think it's definitely her, and I honestly don't think that I don't think it has anything to do with what she says on her social media or in her interviews, because I think most people agree with what she says. When you actually write it down, what she's saying, like the shit makes sense, like 98% of the time. I just think she's a really shitty person to be around. And
oh no,
and this is just coming from like, the interviews that I've seen of her, like having this air of like, yo, take me as I am, like I don't bend to nobody, da 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 da. And it's like, yo, come on, man. Like sometimes your whole job is dealing with other people. And like you said, like for her to go to that party, and like even the way she tells the story, I'm like, you weren't right. Like you knew you weren't invited. Like this is Issa's manager's party. It wasn't an Insecure party. It was Issa's manager's party.
Oh, that's right.
After an award show.
There
was no Insecure affiliation to this party,
except for that her cast members were there.
Except all cast members. Yeah, okay. Exactly. So like she knew she didn't get an invitation. She had been uninvited from the one the year before. And so that she finagled it to get as someone else's who was going, I think it was John Legend or whatever, like to be their +1, or Jesse Williams or some shit like that. So so basically she was somebody else's +1, and she told the story. So she poses as somebody's +1. As soon as she gets in there, security is like, yo, you're not supposed to be here. Go. And then she made this big scene, and it's like, yo, you're not entitled to shit, B. Like, so you crash a party and then they're the bad people for kicking you out of a party you knew you weren't invited to? You think your uninvitation was a mistake? So, and then like you said, the fact that nobody from the cast came to her defense online is like, yo, you're clearly a difficult person to work with or be around just based off your personality and your self-awareness, and the fact that she's like mad cool with Charlamagne. But like, you can just tell, like, she rocks with some hella problematic people. So I'm like, okay, yo, you may be a comedian.
I agree, that's questionable.
Yeah,
as much as I love Charlamagne, I thought that too.
He always
I'm
rides
like,
for
oh,
her.
they're best friends.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting.
agitators.
Yeah, so I was just like, man, I was surprised to see her in this episode as much as she was. But like I said, I think that like the past seasons they were trying to possibly like, write her off because she wasn't in any episode. Like she was MIA, and she had a pretty good pretty good storyline that she could have developed when she went missing from that night that they were playing, watching that show that they like to watch, and nobody knew where she was because her husband thought she was at the place watching the show with the friends. And Tiffany got a call. Kelly got a call from Tiffany and like didn't say nothing about where she was at, even though everybody knew that she was supposed to be there. So it's like that could have been a whole: is she cheating? Is she not cheating? But like,
that the season finale for season 4 was, or was it 4? One of those episodes. They were looking for her all over. So
yeah, they had the PT, they had the what is it?
Post-traumatic stress.
No, when you after you give birth.
Postpartum.
Thank you. She had the postpartum storyline. So
yeah.
I think, but yeah, you could be right, CJ. That could have been them giving each other space too while all this stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And but she's still a key part. Tiffany is still a key part of the show. So it's like if you were to write her off all of a sudden, it wouldn't make sense.
Because even with that storyline, I mean, I watched a couple of episodes in season 4 before this one started. Like that whole episode, they're looking for her. She's on screen for like 2 minutes.
That's true. I never thought about whatever drama going on behind the scenes.
Yeah,
kind of like
they built the storyline so that she wouldn't have to be on screen.
Yeah, because I think one of those seasons, I think with the Condola season and the season before, she was on more. So I think whatever happened between that party in season 4 and now, kind of maybe put a little rift in the writer's room. But that's kind of like, you don't shit where you eat. Like, why would you piss off the people of the show? Like, I can literally put you in 1 second of the show and still fulfill your contract if I wanted to, depending on what it says.
This is also giving me Sex and the City vibes because.
Wait, I ain't really finished that one yet.
Well, no, all I'm gonna. It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler.
Okay.
And finish it because the other one's coming out, the spinoff.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people didn't know that Kim Cattrall, who plays Samantha, the one that loves to have sex all the time, and Carrie, Sarah Jessica Parker, the actress, hated each other. To this day, they hate each other. Even while filming. Even while filming, they would have, but if you see the show, they look like best friends forever. Like, and I think the last movie they did together, which was Sex and the City 2, I think they try to keep them not doing as many scenes together as well, because especially Samantha, the actress who plays Samantha, hates Carrie. So it could be a situation like that where they don't get along.
I want to watch this shit now to see the.
Oh, their acting is phenomenal when you realize how much they hate each other. Like she called Sarah Jessica out on Instagram and left the poster, dragged her to hell and back, and left, and it's still there to this day because Sarah Jessica Parker sent her condolences via Instagram about her brother passing away. Google it.
The white girl be having crazy drama.
Google it.
Wait, I wanted to Rashawn, like, just back it up. She said we were talking about Amanda Stills, and I thought about The Real, so I thought it was interesting that she brought that up too, like hearing those rumors about her having issues on The Real. And then Anthony said, when CJ was explaining the party when she was still coming, even though she wasn't invited, he's like, yeah, that's very toxic, proving my point. I think Amanda Stills, like you said, has a very strong personality. She gives me somebody who doesn't chill. Like, it's gonna be, I'm black, I'm pro, I'm this, I'm that all the time. I'm in this. Don't step in my light, brother. Like, I think she's giving you that all the fucking time. And like you said, her social media stuff, like, I follow her too. Like, she's on point a lot of times. And sometimes I'm like, this seems like a reach. But and I also thought that too, like, Charlemagne is very, polarizing, and he's just getting into his mental health stuff. So for y'all to be very best friends, that means y'all was kind of alike with being, dicks to people. And you can even tell with DJ Envy and Angela Yee that they don't really fuck with Charlemagne as much. Like, they co-workers, they cool. And I think a lot of times too, I think what's happening on Insecure as far as behind the scenes, you can still do your job. You can still not fuck with somebody and be professional and do your job. And I think even though, because they were showing that Issa doesn't follow Amanda Seales on social media, nor does Molly or anybody else on the show, I think Issa is still cool with Amanda Seales and she respects her as a professional, but they're not friends.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they're cool. I think she probably tries to keep a environment that's good on her set. But Amanda Seales, I think she's just that type of girl. And I think they're just like, but I also think Amanda Seales is professional enough to like, okay, I'm coming here to do the job. Yeah. Because I think seeing them in those scenes, like they're cool. Like, and I mean, I don't know what the extent is with Molly or Issa or the other girls, but Dro was the one who came out and was like, we don't fuck with you. Like nobody else said nothing. So it wasn't like Molly or anybody on the cast or production said we don't like Amanda. I felt like they maybe kept whatever that was in-house. Like it wasn't, you know, I think Dro was kind of like, I ain't on the show no more. Fuck it. I'ma just say what it is because we don't fuck with you.
think of it like this though. I mean, the only reason why you even bring up like the tiers of characters, right, is because like you I mean, people most of the time you assume like the person who is the higher billing on a show is the natural leader behind the scenes on set. When in reality, Dro could be the person that everybody was just like, yo, man, you need to just tell him what it is. Like, and he was like, yo, I'm just going to come out and say it. Like their dynamic of like their relationships behind the cameras can be completely different than how they are in front of the cameras. So, you know, if somebody's just difficult to work with, or if they like, oh, you know, imagine if you want to tour with Lauryn Hill, like everybody loves Lauryn Hill, but like, don't nobody want to tour with somebody that's gonna be 3 hours late every fucking show.
That sounds stressful.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
in the words of Lauryn Hill, I'm saving souls and y'all complaining about my lateness. Okay.
But you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, that is a professional. The bar was fire, but Lauryn,
yeah,
no pass for that. Okay, ma'am.
But this is what I think what I feel sad about is because I don't know her personally. Like I don't know Amanda personally. Yeah, I don't know her personally, so I don't want to call her toxic. There are stories out there that make it seem like she could have difficulty issues. But she's so talented in so many ways. I just want like people to be okay.
You know what? You want the talent to match the personality. And I'm about to go all the way out the car on this one. Like R. Kelly. You want it
no.
This one's gonna talk about R. Kelly in this moment. But yeah, man, sometimes we just gotta accept that famous people.
I draw the line.
Yeah,
no, I meant in the sense of him being so talented and him being such a trash ass person. You just kind of like, how do these two things live in one? Like, how is that? Sometimes in your mind, you just think that, like you said, CJ, like them being so talented, you want them to be good people, and they're dicks on every level.
Yeah,
I think she
some great janitors and some asshole janitors.
Yeah. I think her intentions might be good. I just think she might get in her way.
Yeah, I just
because maybe she needs to have I don't know, maybe a little more self-awareness therapy. I don't know. I don't want to diagnose the girl. I don't know her, so I'm not going to sit here and say what she needs.
I mean, no, I'm just talking from a strictly like personal, like relatable aspect. Like, there's people in my life that I don't fuck with because they're not good people. Mm-hmm. So like for me to push like all of these like positive, you know, projections onto people because they're, you know, in the spotlight when everything is like if you knew somebody that nobody fucked with on your block, would you be like, well, maybe they just got a strong personality? No,
but I don't know. But I don't know her. I don't know her, so I don't want to judge her.
And that's fair.
The signs are there, CJ. You're right. The signs are there, but I don't know her.
And here's the thing: there are some people who I know where people are like, they're just a trash person. I'm like, well, when I'm with them, we cool. Like, I don't really see that part of them. Like, or they don't give me that. You know, I can see why you may say that, but when we kick it, we're cool. So I think, you know, everybody has their own perspectives and their own energy that they bring to people. And there's certain things that you click with and that you don't click. I think for me, as far as people are concerned, like if you hurt children, you hurt women or other people, if you're like intentionally cruel and harmful with your words, if you're like ostracizing to groups of people, like that's when I'm like,
malicious intent.
Yeah, the malicious intent. When you're like that, that's why I put you as a trash person. Other things are variables, like because something that, You know, some people may be like, I don't fuck with Janae, she this, like, and then other people are like, I like her. So you may never know. And I feel like Amanda Seales is probably one of those type of personalities where either you love her or you hate her. And then clearly the insecure people have chosen a side.
in so many ways.
And the real people.
And
So
every other show
but the real girls,
Flowetry, y'all forgot she was a singer in Flowetry.
Oh, that's true. She had a falling out with them too. I remember that.
You gotta, I don't know. Like, and I hear you, like, you know, you gotta, when you hear somebody say like so and so's trash, you gotta consider the source. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who these people are. They might be lying. Hollywood is full of weirdos. I don't know. I don't know.
We got 3 strikes. I don't know. We just said Flowetry, the real and insecure. All these people.
Because we ain't on Hollywood, B. I'm just saying. The signs are there, B. Like, you got levels of fame. Like, fuck Amanda Seales. Like,
I think I'm coming from a place because in like my career, I have had workmates that other people have said, oh, this person, I can't stand working with them. Same. And then I'm like, just like what you were saying, Janae, like, I've never had that issue with her. She helps me out. I don't like, we've never had a problem. Like, so I'm like, I don't know. Is it you too? I don't know what's going on. Do you guys don't get along? I don't know. So I'm trying to give Amanda the benefit of this.
You know, like I said, we probably would never know that answer. I just hope she's not too much of a distraction.
She won't.
The AKA thing was to me.
See, I thought that was unfair, but I'm not gonna get in because I don't want a mob unleashed.
Oh yeah, I'm not Greek, so I ain't gonna go. Are you guys Greek?
Hell no.
Okay, so we'll have that discussion. We have somebody on the Greek who could speak because I was like, I don't get it, but
I don't understand. I don't understand it either.
I didn't go to an HBCU.
Respectfully, I don't get it.
Yeah, respect. I was just like, I thought she did good.
Yeah, I'm like, she's a positive representation. I think it's just because it's her. Because if Issa would have been wearing some letters, I don't think they would have cared.
But the people in the comments said Molly was drinking from an AKA.
No one said a damn thing. Wait, did she drink from that cup while she was being trashed to Issa?
I don't know. I can't remember.
We got to think about that.
I can't remember.
I think it was season 1, and she was. So I think it's like they don't want.
They pick and choose.
They're picking and choosing.
Amanda Seales don't piss off somebody, and
an AKA somewhere in the higher levels of the hierarchy of AKA-dom.
Whatever it was, they was probably like,
piss someone off from that group.
We okay with Molly, but Amanda Seales, your ass bet not.
Is the manager who didn't let her in the party an AKA? I have questions. Conspiracy theories.
You dropping them gems.
You never know. You making some great connections.
Just saying.
You need like the red yarn, like with the pictures connecting behind you, like the whole web.
Or the aliens meme, or the guys like aliens.
Man, one of those. I think the show is. I know, right? I'm hoping that this last season is giving us everything that we need, and I'm gonna definitely enjoy watching it. I hope you guys, every week I'm gonna try to do this on Wednesday. Look, y'all, I messed up. I'm trying to be all tech. I got a mic. I went and got a webcam. I went and bought a new laptop. I was like, okay, this is insecure. I haven't done these videos in a while. Let me do the most. And end up being fucking over 30 minutes late for y'all. So I'm not gonna do that no more.
I like the shades though.
Thank you, because this is not a part of the look. I had my new wig ready to go, my makeup, and then it was like 7:45. I was like, bitch, you just gotta get on. Nobody's gonna give a fuck. I don't know how many viewers I lost, but thank you.
I was patiently waiting. I was like, Janae.
I know when I saw you come, I was like, I gotta go. But every week I want to have these discussions. I'm gonna put the link in there, so if you guys want to chime in, because sometimes it's hard with me with scheduling with people. But I was like, okay, if they're ready, if they're available when I'm going live, I'll put the link like I did today. Y'all hop in. You know, I like having this conversation. Definitely love you, Joelle and CJ, coming on. Y'all give me like very good conversations, and I've actually gotten really good feedback from people saying that they like you guys coming on. But I'm hoping some of our other regulars are able to join in throughout the season. But I'm plan to do this every week throughout the season, and then also too, like how we had that big panel last
that was
year.
Great.
You know, having everybody on. We'll definitely do that again. Rashawn and Anthony and Corey and Julius, I hope y'all able to join us one time, you know, to talk live, but definitely want to do this all the time, and always thankful for you guys taking time to watch and even join on and talk live, because it makes it that much more fun and make me want to come back and do this each time. So thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Yay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, y'all. Have a good night. Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Joelle. Am I saying it right, Joelle? Because I'm saying it real
Perfect.
fast. Okay.
Perfect. And next one is Our Kind of People, right? No,
Oh.
we don't do that, 'cause
Yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one.
I'm real mad that I couldn't get it together for Power Book 2 Canaan.
See, that I don't watch.
Oh, see, but because me and the other people was going in on it, but we definitely could do Our Kind of People, because I'm all into it. And
CJ's
it's just,
like, hell no.
it's very bad, but I like it. Thank y'all, though. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Night.
I'm about to do some housekeeping. Y'all join us every week. Thank y'all for watching in. Thank you, y'all. You know, my other audience members, my other panelists, everybody in the comments. Y'all make sure y'all follow High Low News. Y'all follow us on social media. On I'm about to put it on the bottom of the screen: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Y'all make sure y'all sign up for our email newsletter. Definitely do that. We're going to be kicking off a crowdfunding campaign, so I definitely want to make sure I get as many emails as possible so y'all can know about that and what we're doing. And also, welcome to my new team members, Gabby. I don't know if y'all follow us on Instagram, but Gabby is one of my new entertainment social media reporters, and I just brought on Mireille. She's my new politics and social issues reporter. So y'all make sure y'all show them love and send them story ideas related to those topics. But yeah, we're going to be back doing more live discussions, more live interviews, and definitely trying to do more video content. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me as always. And yeah, just be back next week. Be here with y'all notes. And yeah, it's all good. So y'all have a good night, and make sure y'all watch Insecure, because we coming back with our notes. Episode 2 next week at 7:30. I'm gonna be on time. Not gonna do the most. Good night, y'all. Thank y'all.